The Business English course is primarily aimed at students who are roughly level B1, B2 and C1, generally speaking upper intermediate to advanced, and people who are already in work or people who are thinking about going into the world of business, so people who have just entered or graduated from university or people currently working at the moment. I try to focus mostly on the listening and the speaking elements because that is how most people do business nowadays. It's much more of a spoken medium. There's also quite a bit of work on vocabulary. So what we might do in a typical lesson would be start off with listening of something like a board meeting or someone giving a talk on their opinion on a particular business issue with some questions on that. We'll pull some of the vocabulary from that and try and investigate what it means and try and recycle it again later. We'll also use some of the language that we heard in that recording, some of the phrasing, and we'll then try and use that to work towards a kind of a role play where we have a situation where the students will act out something that they might experience in the real world, such as, for example, a teleconference or a negotiation with someone in a client or in another business. There's always communication involved, speaking, sharing ideas, and making sure that there's a kind of open environment where everyone feels comfortable in giving their opinions and listening to other people's opinions. And in some classes we'll also have a bit of writing, usually things like email communication, but also possibly doing reports and that sort of thing. We have had people who've had job interviews and managed to get jobs in this country. We also have a number of students who have managed to go and study in English-speaking universities on the courses they wanted to do. I really think it is a great course for anybody, whether you are already working in a business or you're thinking about going into that area.
My name is Oleksandr. I'm Ukrainian. I study economics in Kyiv National Economic University, and I have come to London to study Business English in Stafford House School. My field of study in Kyiv and my future job, I hope, will be connected with business. So the language skills give you advantages while applying for a job, and we observe really practical problems of real companies, talk about real people, and it always like dialogue, so we always speak and listen to each other, and time passed really fast and it's not difficult, and I really believe that it is effective. I like my teacher very much. John is a really cool guy and it's really interesting to talk with him. We study business terminology in interesting dialogue, communicative form, listen to specialists reading business articles, many different and interesting things. For people who are connected with business, it really gives you possibilities to understand more clearly and then to specialize yourself in future. It's really pleasure to be and study here. It's awesome, pretty cool.